Hey guys, welcome to the latest episode of An Echoes Ramble. In this episode, we'll be covering what to do in EVE Echoes in 2023. If you're a new player coming across from EVE Online, or maybe you're a returning player who dropped the game maybe a year or two ago, this is the video to tell you whether or not you should return depending upon your playstyle. So before I get started, like, comment and subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get on with the video. So we'll start off with PvP because this is the one with the most positive notes by it. This game is heavily geared nowadays towards player versus player activities, thanks to the inclusion of the current insurance system. The insurance system works for some, it doesn't work for others with regards to their playstyles. But for PvP, it is perfect because it enables you to move your ships across the game with just perfect efficiency. You can destroy your ship and for 10% of its cost respawn it somewhere else in the game ready to go again. Granted, there is a 12-hour delay with certain ship losses before you can fly them again, but all of the logistics of getting your ship reassembled, buying all of the modules, the ship hull, etc., you don't have to deal with any of that. You just have a few ships on the go, and in between gaming sessions, they'll essentially respawn in your hangars. So PvP is most definitely still a thing within EVE Echoes, and you can get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So moving on to the next piece of content, we have industry. Whether that be hauling, mining, manufacturing, industry is still here in EVE Echoes, albeit it is not what it once was. If you are coming to this video as a former indie player that left around the time insurance appeared, I'm afraid things haven't changed all that much. The devs' current solution to keeping industry relevant in some sense is a constant release of new and bigger content. For example, capital ships and titans, which have been promised in the near future. And our current understanding is that come April, with the content releases expected in April, we'll be getting new structures like higher level citadels, but potentially alongside more add-on structures for those citadels. So every time there's a content release, we get more things to build. And it's just a case of how quickly do we get it all built? Because once all of that is built, there isn't that much left. Demand falls off of a cliff at that point, and the only reason at that point to build things is for your own personal pet projects, like wanting to build yourself your own carrier like I did. So moving on is the next topic, player versus environment, PvE. Ordinarily, you'd think in these games that this is going to be one of the most propped up parts of the game, that this is where you'd expect all of the development time and effort to be going into, and technically it is, but it's become a bit of an idle clicker game. The most recent release enables you to essentially go and do your PvE content essentially on autopilot. And the game will enable you to do that for 8 hours of the day. Why did the developers do this? It's because the PvE content that we have in this game has not got much more diverse than when the game first launched. If you look at other games that have PvE content, you will notice that there is a lot more variability between all of the missions that you can accept, whether they be rescue this individual or target this one particular elite within a spawn and then run home. We don't have any of that. We don't have any reason to go into a anomaly or encounter and strategize and go straight for the objectives. We just go in, kill everything jumps on us, we kill it again, another wave jumps on us, we kill it again, we go home. So the devs have just automated that process. I'm not saying PvE can't be fun. We do still have the Dormant Realms if you can find yourself a decent team of 4, including yourself, of course, to take part in the Dormant Realms on a weekly basis. But that said, the Dormant Realms only last depending on which one, they can last you 20 minutes a week to maybe 2 hours, depending on which one it is that you're running on a weekly basis. So there's not really much to keep you engaged there with PvE. So if you're looking for PvE content and that's all you're looking for, I can't recommend Eve Echoes. So to summarise with this video, we have the three main playstyles: PvP, Industry and PvE. For player versus player, yes, get into the game. It is the best form of PvP that you're going to be getting for, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say there. But yes, this is a very PvP-centred game, and if that's what you enjoy, get into it. Industry, there are still things to build, but don't expect there to be as much demand as there was when the game first launched 2 years ago. Most of that demand will be coming during the large content releases. And on to PvE. PvE in the game has just become a necessity to be able to buy things in-game. It is not really a fun activity, so unless you enjoy that repetitive grind or you want to buy that $60 autopilot bonus for your ship to be able to do the PvE on its own, it's not something I'd recommend. But hey-ho, I'm trying to keep this video on a positive note, and the positives are that at least one major form of playstyle is still relevant within the game. Yeah, there is one more playstyle that I have neglected to mention thus far throughout the video, and that is exploration. Exploration hasn't really had any attention by the developers. You can spend a whole hour scanning systems and find only a couple of low-value sites. And every time I go out exploring, I find that those sites have been mostly looted. I say mostly. There are a number of players that intend to leave these sites spawned for as long as possible by leaving one metal scrap remaining in them. So I'm not sure I could say exploration was ever in a good place to start with. So I'll be leaving that. So yes, we have those that I've covered right there. I'm going to stop rambling here and cut to the end. Thank you for watching. And now I've got to find the stop button.